Are we rolling?
Mhm.
Okay. Well, good afternoon. Good afternoon in our time zone. At any rate, good day, and wherever you are, welcome to the November 2023 Chicago TI User Group meeting. Here we are in downtown beautiful Evanston, Illinois, and today our technical guru, Jim Mazurek, is bringing you this show on his beautiful little camera, his phone. Vic Starp, our president, is here and has a whole bunch of programs that he's going to demonstrate. And I'm here as well, Hal Shanafield, fair chairman, and apparently duty announcer to get us going. What do we have today, Vic?
We have a bunch of stuff. First, I think James should mention about the resurrected Chicago User Group webpage.
Well, it's not really resurrected. It is another alternate webpage.
Alternate universe.
Right. So we now have the domain name ChicagoTIUG.org, which will now be the front page for the user group's website and the canonical source for most information. Well, Hal's usually the canonical source for most information regarding the club, but it will reflect that.
Well, we have just a moment before we actually get into the demos. Let me try and clear up a little bit of confusion about next year's Chicago TI International World Fair. Right now, we're waiting for Northwestern University to publish their home football schedule, around which we must work if anyone wants to get a hotel room within 15 miles of Evanston during the fair. And Northwestern is waiting on the Evanston City Council for permission or denial of permission to rebuild the football stadium. If they give permission to rebuild the stadium, which is a contentious issue here in the city of Evanston, then there will be no home football games next year, and we'll have the freedom to more or less choose our own date. If, however, they deny permission and this drags out, then they will finally publish their home football schedule. We'll know when we can have the fair, and we will let everyone know it on the TIUG and our website and in any other means that we have to get the word out. But at the moment, that discussion has been tabled. There was a very contentious meeting there was a large group of neighbors who are protesting against this, and as a result, the aldermen and women have to consider their constituents and their constituents' wishes in the matter. And it's a matter of the university offering certain guarantees, and it's a complicated issue, but at any rate, it's dragging out right now, and it will eventually be resolved, hopefully in the very near future, and then we'll know what the future date of the Chicago TI International World Fair for 2024 will be. So, that said, Vic, what have you got for us today?
Okay, why don't you leave this in front of the camera and reintroduce John Benke.
Okay.
Visit the fair, video, et cetera, et cetera.
A little bit of information about the fair. One of our oldest members, John Benke, has come back into the fold, and John is a very well-known programmer. He gave us, I don't know if this can be seen or not. Jim, maybe you can hold it up because I can't see it very well here. It'll be up on the screen in a moment, that we can see here. It is a USB card in the form of a credit card size, and he provided us with some of those for attendees at the fair for the reworked program that he created, Missile Command. And I was hoping that John would be here today, but John has been suffering some ill health. He had COVID and wasn't able to attend the fair in person. He did, however, send us a very good video explaining the program, and he hopes to make it to the next meeting, and we hope to see him. He has produced a number of programs in the past, and hopefully will do so in the future. He also, by the way, did some creation of some keychains using a 3D printing process for the fair, and those were also handed out at the fair and were a big hit. So that everybody, John has done a very nice job for us, and hopefully will in the future produce even more programs. I hope that, John, we hope that you're watching today from home, and we miss you. We're looking forward to seeing you in person again, and hope you're feeling a little bit better. Can we demo Missile Command today?
I'm going to attempt that now. I copied the .dsk file off that card onto a compact flash card for my Nano PEB. I copied the bin file off the card for my final ROM, but I can't seem to get it to run. But as long as I got it on the disk, it's okay. The bin file might be, it's set up only for an emulator, and there might be that one bit in the header of that file that's keeping it from running on the final ROM. I don't have an emulator, so I don't know how to diagnose that. But here's Missile Command 1. Now, I haven't run this since I installed it, so let's see if it works.
Well, these are TI demos, so we know what to expect. Now,
Okay.
Prepared.
look at this.
Here it is from 1985.
Now, is this the new one or the
This
original?
is the classic. So in Missile Command, your little cursor there is that X, and when you press the fire button, it fires a defensive missile to intercept these incoming bombs. Okay, I successfully did all those, and I get points for saving my 6 cities at the bottom. Well, lose the city there, but now the original Atari Missile Command, you had 2 missile bases, one on each side, or 3, and you had a trackball to move your cursor. So the arcade version of Missile Command was pretty frantic. I'm going to lose 10 missiles from my defensive missiles from my missile base, and that hit me. I was thinking of getting fancy and bringing a TI converted trackball to play this, but you wouldn't be able to see it while we're doing it. Okay, so that's Missile Command. That's the original. I'm going to quit this. We're going to remove caps. We're going to remove the virtual disk from virtual drive 1 on the Nano. And then in drive number 1, we're going to put in disk number volume 82 on this compact flash card. Press space bar to get into RxP. I prefer RxP and I like this version because it works real good and it's got a built-in disk cataloger. So I don't need a separate program to see what's on. So if I tell call EA and press D for directory, and then press 1 for disk drive number 1. Okay, that was supposed to be,
You said 82, and this is just 80. You typed in 80.
oh, I made a
This is supposed to be 80.
mistake. Okay. Thank you. Oh, here it is on my notes. Yeah, I wrote everything down. There we go. MC2, press the space bar to load extended basic with RxP. Takes a moment to load. Ah, GI demo. Okay. Okay, since this is a big extended basic program, IV-254, maybe this is having trouble actually loading it from this directory. I'll try again. Okay. Was MC2, wasn't it?
Yep. What's a 07? Too big? Or do we have to do it, isn't there something we have to do to load a IV-254?
No, that's, when programs get larger, extended basic programs get larger than 48 sectors, they go from program format to IV-254 format.
Okay.
And this is a bit of a bugaboo if you've got one of those real big basic only programs, like Regina's Name That Bone or Checkers or something like that, where she uses every bit of console memory. You can't load it in extended basic. You gotta jump through hoops using either the missing link or RxP as that built in to load a real big basic only program and save it on the disk drive as the extended basic. Now I'm getting an error on missile command 2. I guess I can't demonstrate that today.
Ooh. Maybe we should call John and see if he's got it too.
Mhm.
We could do that.
Like I said, I was burned the midnight oil last night, and I got this loaded on here, but I did not test it before now. So we'll do, we'll move this disk from drive number 1. And we'll load in disk number 7-8. While going through the archives, I discovered that he did a program called Sky Rescue. And there it is. Okay, Sky Rescue. Mel, you want to read this out?
Sure. 3 people have been kidnapped by terrorists. Rescue them with your plane by shooting out the walls and picking them up. After you rescue all 3 captives, take them home by flying out the right side of the screen. Also, do not hit or shoot the missiles. Press fire button to start.
Okay. This is a very difficult, at least for me to play, because the plane does not move in the direction your joystick moves. It moves in opposite direction as if you're actually flying an aircraft. So I'll press the fire button here. And I hit the ceiling. gonna miss, he'll hit me.
That was close.
Oh, only one bomb allowed at a time on the screen. Okay, so that's how it usually ends for me. You got a real thick roof bunker there with thin walls, so it'd be tempting to just shoot out one of the walls and pick these people up and then fly out that right side of the screen. Again, your mileage may vary.
Well,
So, moving along, I spent some little time, we're going over to a PC here with the display of a directory, and I spent some little time working on, oh, I wish I could make this bigger. There we go. Working on the stuff in 2018. I had done a history on Hunt the Wampus. And you remember at the fair, I did a little seminar on video game design. And video games don't have to be full-blown with all sorts of explosions and everything else. They can be as simple as a text program to tell you the results. And here's the inventor of Hunt the Wampus, Gregory Yah, from Wikipedia. Here we go. And here's the late Mr. Yah, and he liked the shape of a dodecahedron, which is the shape of the Wampus's lair, where each room has 3 connections to it, rather than a XY graph. And he had come up with the idea on this Wikipedia article of what we're calling a smart home. And he had thought that up a long time ago, of having temperature, light, music, all set up, integrated into your home already. So that's the creator of the Wampus. Bear with me a minute here. So this was off the 2018 thumb drive that only a few people have gotten at the 2018 fair. Now, in this Atari archives, they have a silly drawing, Hunt the Wampus. And here he describes his theory behind the game. Here is a flattened dodecahedron. So if you numbered every nexus there, 1 through 20, you would see the other ones it connects to. And this explains it. Let me close this. How many windows do I have open? Just the one? Okay, good. And it gets into the theory of it and how it works. Sample run, and here it shows this is all text. There, I can actually make that a little bigger. And where it talks to you, it tells you where you're at, what you see, and what you hear. For those of you unfamiliar with Hunt the Wampus, you're trying to kill a terrifying creature that lives in the dark of the caves. And if you actually walk up on this creature, it eats you. So you have to use clues like blood spots are on the floor up to 2 caverns away from the cavern that he's lurking at. To make things also more interesting, there are slime pits you can fall into. The slime pits are messy and they leave a green slime mess 1 cavern away from them. So if you walk into a cavern and there's green slime on the floor, one of those 2 exits goes to a slime pit. You might be lucky enough to go into a cavern that's got a green spot and a red spot. The Wampus, with his claws, he can hang on to the walls of a slime pit. So here's the sample run, and it shows you the logic behind it. You're in the room number 2 there, and it has exits to room 1, 3, and 10. And there's on the left how the wampus with the printout is. And you can do have a bow and arrow. So if you have deduced where the wampus is, you can knock your bow, knock your arrow on your bow, and fire it into one of the 2 rooms that you think he's in. And there's variations of this game. If you miss, your arrow just whistles 2 or 3 rooms away and falls to the floor. In the TI version of this, you have only 1 arrow. So if you fire it and miss, the Muppets gets you the next screen, because he hears your arrow fall to the floor and he knows you're there and you're unarmed. So it's a foregone conclusion of that. I'm just scrolling through this. I'm not expecting you to read this, but this is the actual gameplay on the left.
It puts me in mind of that old song from the album Dirt. Ay, 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 your mother eats batshit off cave walls. Yes,
Yeah,
it was
so anyway,
great
here's a
song.
flow chart at the top. You're in room 2, you go to room 1, there's bats, or you go to room 3, to room 4, to room 5, and it shows you the other rooms branching off of it. And it shows you that continuing that flow chart to a conclusion. And here's the listing. This is Atari Archives, so I would imagine this is in the Atari format and might use commands that aren't available on the TIUG. And the actual listing of the program itself. Okay, here is what Gregory Yob very vocally said that he hated, not to impugn the author of this program, but the 8x8x8 cube. He really disliked it. Here you have 6 possible motions in directions, and in this you're trying to depth charge a submarine, and you don't know where it's at. But it does give you some feedback of how far away from the submarine your depth charge was. Gregory was not a fan of this kind of game. You're going to see this later. Here's a simpler one where it's played flat, and you've only got a 5x5 grid to play it on. And again, he didn't like this, but other people adopted his game and called it Wampus. I see I have a whole bunch of open windows
You
here.
clicked on something you perhaps shouldn't have.
No, this is all my history.
Oh, really?
It's up there. I don't know how to clear that, so I'm just gonna. No, just quit. So is that number 3 we were on? Let's go to number 4. That's gonna open Firefox. Oh, if it's trying to open up Explorer.
No, it opened
No, it opened up
Firefox.
Firefox, good, okay. However, here's the official Wikipedia. Excuse me, I'll make this a little larger for you. Here's the Wikipedia on Hunt the Wampus. And here's TI's implementation of it, which is flat and not a dodecahedron. And each room connects to up to 4 other rooms. But we play it anyway and we love the game. But they do give the history there. Here's the geometric shape called the dodecahedron, which was Gregory Young's favorite geometric shape. Yeah, I'm not trying to do that. So see all the stuff you miss?
Gosh, yes.
If you don't come to the fair, you miss this.
Yeah.
Trying to put a video here, it seems like all the same ancient laptop has is QuickTime. All right, in this, here's the guy playing out the wampus in pseudo 3D effect. He's picked up a bat repellent. Oh, and you see the guy playing it in the upper right corner there. It tells you what room you're in. You heard squeals, so you know there's bats nearby, and you heard a growl of a wampus. So it gives you the option of shooting the arrow. Now you hear the wind whistling because there's a bottomless pit nearby that he just fell down. It's fun watching the reaction of the guy playing this in the upper right corner.
And of course, they had to insert a Wilhelm scream.
So it's coming up soon. He runs right into the up to the wampus, who picks him up and stuffs him in his mouth head first. The last thing you see is his feet kicking. Hear that growl? There's a wampus.
It looks like that little thing from Mucinex, you know. Whoa.
So, yeah, I always got a kick out of that. Actually, I haven't seen this game available anywhere. I don't know quite where this guy got it, but it's a inspiration to all of us. He eventually does shoot the wampus. So here's the opposite end of the spectrum, from a text adventure where it just describes to you everything with numbers, to a graphical adventure. Oh, he's on a bat repellent. Now remember, the bat will pick you up and drop you in a random room, and he might drop you right on top of the wampus, or drop you into a bottomless pit.
That's one big ass bat.
Well, it has to pick up a person.
Oh, yeah. Right there, I'd already have lost about 3 pounds. Bat picked me up like that.
Oh, we heard a growl.
And I'd lose everything. Never be able to wear those clothes again.
Yeah. Bend over and stick your finger in it and ask somebody, is this peanut butter or chocolate? Okay, you hear that whistle? He's getting more canny now. Oh, he found an arrow. That might actually be the one that he fired and missed the wampus with. So now he's going back over where he's been before. Bat repellent worked.
Oops.
Wouldn't
wasn't
matter,
fair.
yeah,
I
if we're
didn't
gonna
hear
go
that.
on a
I didn't
bottomless
hear that
pit.
one whistling. He does shoot the wampus, and you see the guy in the upper right-hand corner going, yay!
Is this game run by itself, or do you actually have to do something?
No, the guy playing it is in the upper right-hand corner.
Right, it's a video of him playing
Yeah,
this
he-
game.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he doesn't seem to move anything, so,
Well, you can't see his hands moving.
no, okay.
Okay, so you know that one's a. I know this might seem a little tedious, but he does get the wampus eventually.
I would think, under the circumstances, if you know there's bottomless pits around there, you wouldn't run into a room.
Well, you hear it. Now, he's got two directions to go. He doesn't know which direction is the pit and which one is not a pit. They might both be a pit.
What's behind the second door, yeah.
Because there are two pits in the game. Okay, so I used two exits there,
Yep.
and there was a sound of wind. Oh,
Hmm.
Where was it?
oh no!
Good job.
Guy's not having a good day.
No. You see him laughing there in the upper right corner. He's having a good time. This is a bit of a poser. He's laughing and laughing. But you didn't hear a growl, so the wampus wasn't in that one with the pit. Try heading south. There you go. You haven't done that yet. Ooh. I heard that growl. Firing southwest. Look at him cheering there, arms up in the air. Yeah, I got him, I got him.
About time, yeah. But you don't even get to see him kill the wampus, huh? Just hear it?
Just hear it, yeah.
No payoff then,
Yeah, a lot of people, video game design, a lot of people talk about the reward stream. And Earth was saved, play again, yes, no. It's like, well, gee, that's all I get for my hard work.
Yeah.
So that was a very graphical representation of Hunt the Wampus.
Yeah.
Now, I had actually
versions.
thought of possibly doing a Hunt the Wampus, different variations of the scenario.
Mhm.
One is there's a space probe has arrived at Earth, and you enter one of the open airlocks, and it's set up the same way.
huh?
To where you have to explore each airlock is connected to the three adjoining rooms. And you go to all the adjoining rooms, and one room has a random teleporter in it, you know, instead of the bats.
How about a game where you run around and you invade a girl's dormitory and you're doing a panty raid, and You run from room to room to room in this oddly shaped girls' dormitory
Yeah.
until you find a girl willing to give you her panties,
Mhm.
etc.
This is a
Okay.
game called Hunt
Here's the Wampus, Hunt the Wampus in Minecraft.
By Gregory Hill, but this version is by me.
So he gets to work all three direct dimensions with no gravity.
Step on the pressure plate behind you to start. So let's do that.
So this is a highly
So,
graphical
shoot the
representation.
Wampus, shoot into the Wampus cave. You avoid pits, and bats will carry you away.
Okay.
Beware, the Wampus will eat you if you stumble into its cave. Now, here is the pressure plate. And we're in a cave that says bats are nearby.
I hope you don't
So
get
the way the Wampus
vertigo.
works is, in each of the caves, there's clues as to where the Wampus is, or where some of the cave hazards are. Now, in this case, I'm just playing with a couple of things. One's night vision, because I haven't finished lighting up the caves or building them out. Then the second is I've got a bit of speed, just because otherwise it could be a bit slow. And the third, I wonder where the third is. It's probably this one here. And if you go exploring, sometimes you can turn up the Wampus. So you sort of keep looking around to see what can be found. In the actual game will be played in adventure mode, which means that if you fall from a great height, that will be a problem for your character. At the moment, I'm just in a testing mode.
I feel a draft,
Now, it's
okay.
saying I feel a draft. I feel a draft means that there's a pit somewhere. There's a pit. Let me show you the pit. So you can see at the moment. Oh, in fact, that's where the Wampus is. I'll show you the win conditions. So first it's, you shoot into the Wampus cave. And then you're taken to the win environment, which is here, which says you killed the Wampus. So this is the Wampus, all dead with his tail and his suction feet.
If you say so.
Blood stains all around the place. The caves, we've got stalactites and dripping water. And with night vision off, it looks a little bit more moody. So when you kill the Wampus, that's you winning the game. Then you've got the option over here, if you go looking for the secret button to play again. Now, Wampus is a hide and seek game, which means that every time you play it, there'll be a different configuration and a different location for the Wampus.
You can't memorize the space.
So I feel a draft means there's a definite chance that we've got a pit somewhere. Bats are interesting. Bats will take your character to a random part of the caves. So this cave has a bat in it. There we go. So I walked in there and I got teleported to a different cave. Somewhere, so here's the pit. Let's go into the pit.
Yeah, he just doesn't number the room you're in.
And it's a kind of a bottomless pit. You keep falling and falling until eventually
Good.
you respawn to start again. So when you fall down a pit, that's a lose condition. Let's go back in. What else happens during a Wampus hunt? So here the cave's all been reconfigured. There's one event that I haven't set up yet, which is the shooting into a cave that does not contain the Wampus. In that instance, what will happen, or what should happen in the game, is the Wampus changes to a different cave. At the moment, it does nothing. So here's a bat. Bats carry you away to a random cave. If they carry you to a cave that's got a bat, then you'll end up in a second random cave. You teleport twice. I'll show you that here. No. I wonder where that bat is. Up here. So every cave with 3 exits results in a little bit of a maze. You have to work your way through and try and find out where within there.
Okay, we're gonna cut that one a little short. Because that was a work in progress that he was doing.
And that is why I don't play games. That was making me actually nauseous moving around like that. Fred Waxbean says, this looks like an MC Escher Wampus maze.
Minecraft. Oh, okay, this was the actual web page. to that YouTube link for the wampus that we saw. Or here, I think I downloaded the file because I can't trust links to work after any amount of time. Okay, this is the one we saw already. I must have a duplicate file here. Yeah, so almost like Adventure or Tunnels of Doom, you could have different environments, you could have different motivations. Okay, some programming classes had, with Android, here they show the TI screen, but with Android, they asked the students write a program to play Hunt the Wampus on a Android device, and they explain the TI stuff and what the TI rules were. Excuse me. Let me close a couple of these windows so I don't wind up with 20 of them open. What was that, 9, 10, Project 3. Here, Grand Theft Wampus. This guy explains the logic on it using Magic the Gathering type cards. And artwork, he gives you an introduction for it. Moment. And this is a programming project. Total of 32 points can be earned over the course of this project, but only 24 are needed to get full credit. So this was a classroom programming project in, what is that, Python? Is what -pi means? I believe so. So I find it interesting that did that. Oh wait, there's more. We have a Neverwinter Nights, not sub-game, but a little pocket universe of Hunt the Wampus. You can't easily see these images, but don't worry. I've got them here. There we go. So that's the Neverwinter's Night type. There we go. And where's the next item here? Okay. The evil wampus eats you alive. Okay, that's the unhappy.
More like a stegosaurus now.
Yeah. And here the upper left of the screen shows, there we go. Upper left of the screen shows the overall layout and how these rooms are interconnected. And the highlighted part here is magnified over here on the right of the actual room that you're currently in. So he dressed up the set real nice. And here's our adventurer standing there in the middle left, and there's 2 exit doors. Oh, page down, okay. This is awful dark.
Yeah.
A cage. Here's the Wampus himself. And there's railroad tracks like it's a mine. A horrible roar fills the cave, and you realize with a smile that you have slain the evil Wampus. So they've dressed this up rather
Looks like a
than.
couple of other bodies on the ground there. What,
other unfortunate explorers. Any kind of,
I thought he ate them, or he pooped them out again, or what?
yeah, maybe he doesn't digest bones well.
Ew, icky poo. I like the castle.
Well, it seems like I just exited right out of the drive that I was using here. We were at the 2018 Fair Plus, which means I added more stuff to that since 2018. So let's get back to Wampus here. Was that 11 or 10?
That's 11.
Yeah, that was it. Dumb computer. I didn't tell it to copy it. Thinks I did. Never work with your original. Yes, the advantage of doing this offline is it doesn't try to reload all the, okay, this is interesting. This gentleman made a board game of the Wampus for his 3 young children, who are probably not young children anymore. But there it shows the TI console and the opening screen. And here it shows the board, plain board, and all the plain tiles. So in this, you have to have a dungeon master who lays out all these pieces according to the rules of how to play the game. Okay, so there's the playing field that hold all these tiles. And here's all the blank tiles sanded and fit in place, showing you how they, just drop in. You gotta have enough slack here so you can pull them out. And this is all details about how he's making it. And there you go. So he's painted or stenciled some of the tiles. It's just a regular playing field. And there we go. The regular playing field, and here he's got the rooms that go around the slime pits. He's got those painted. And here he's got the blood spots and the actual slime pits and the bats.
Oh, yeah,
And
keep going
here's
on
his
with that.
family playing it with him. So, which you do need a dungeon master to set this up and put these pieces in there upside down, or set it up so it's follows the rules of the game correctly. And then as people decide to move, you flip them upside down and say, okay, here it is. Here's where that goes. So you can have a different puzzle every time. There you go. And he's got one of the vertical tokens for which player that is. So more than one person can play this at a time. Oh, and there's the Wampus that's
Yeah,
been
right.
uncovered there.
Yeah.
So this is just for illustration. Boy, that looks real excited, don't it?
Yeah.
Probably almost excited as you are at home watching this.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, what the hell is all this about? But he's willing to dig in there in case, something explodes.
Oh, yeah, and he's got random cards that tell you, I think that controls what's going to be the next tile that gets turned up. But yeah, remember, you gotta follow the logic. Now, here he is, he's set up for a win. Because he's got two blood dots. Actually, it doesn't quite follow right. In the middle of the screen, there's a third blood dot there that you would not have if the wumpus is there. If the wumpus is here and here you got one blood dot, two blood dots. You got one blood dot, two blood dots. This is technically, that's an illegal piece. You wouldn't have a blood dot three rooms away if the wumpus is here. Yeah, the wumpus is there. So that one, the wumpus is in a slime pit. So he must have extra pieces, because the wumpus doesn't always hang out in the slime pit. Sometimes it does. Exit this. Are we in? We're in 12. But wait, there's more. Be the Wampus. This is a runnable game. You play it with headphones on. You are the Wampus. You're in perpetual darkness. You can hear people moving around. And when you hear one get into your cavern, you eat them. So this is a very unusual, this is almost like Diablo for the Warcraft fans, to where you're the dungeon keeper, you're the guy who sets up all these dungeons for all these explorers to go through and battle monsters and try to get
I think I like the panty raid version best,
Well,
actually.
you could do that. So, I think I downloaded that, but I don't think I've run that. Here we go. His description of Be the Wampus, what's going on. I've just described to you everything that happens. And here's an archive file.
What is .gz?
You can use it's a compression.
That's a compressed file. I've never tried to uncompress it with this computer, and I don't feel like locking it up right now. But yeah, they are all the WAV files of people talking, cursing, finding the Wampus, hearing wind, hearing water. So I thought that was unusual where you are the Wampus. Okay, here, just for fun, here's Hunt the Wampus footprint cookies. You can make cookies to eat at home based on the Wampus's footprint. So here's the image of the TI Wampus screen, the Wampus winning, a typical play screen where you're trying to deduce where the monster's at. Now you want to read those ingredients out for us?
What are the ingredients for? Is this a cookie or something?
Yes.
Half cup butter softened, 1/4 cup sugar, 1 large egg, 1/2 teaspoon vanilla extract, 1 cup flour, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, red jelly, blue sprinkles.
Preheat oven to 350. I
Only
think
a
that-
half a cup of sugar? Oh, that can't be very good.
Well, it's a serving suggestion, like they say on the box. of
Well, I mean, it's
cheese.
probably a sugar cookie recipe.
They show you darn near a complete turkey Thanksgiving dinner. Serving, and here's a little bowl of mac and cheese in the corner. Serving suggestion. Yeah, how to whip it with the beater. If your mom hands you the beater to lick the
Make sure it's
frosting
detached
off,
from
make sure it's off first.
Yeah, and, yeah.
preferably detached from the device.
Yeah, don't worry about salmonella.
Yeah.
You'll be
And here
fine.
you go, blue sprinkles with each little ball of a cookie. You roll it around, bake it. Oh, but first dimple it in the middle and put the red jelly in. Now you've made a Wampus footprint cookie. Ta-da! So,
Give them to your friends, don't eat them yourself.
yeah. So if you're really into playing Hunt the Wampus,
Yes, that looks like non-edible. On inspection, it looks like more like something someone made with molding clay and not
Yeah, I was
necessarily
gonna say.
something edible.
Yeah.
you're very unkind.
Let's give this to all your friends, or better still, all your enemies.
Okay, I mentioned before that the dodecahedron is Frank Ryab's favorite geometric shape, and this was on making a kite out of a dodecahedron shape. Step through this. Maybe this was the actual article. Now it's loading it. It's probably trying to phone home first. This is the advantage of having an older dumb laptop with no internet access.
Platonic solids.
Yeah, so here's the science. So this is somebody's thesis on the
Taylor
dodecahedron.
Brand. Oh.
This is rather abstruse, so we'll skip this by, but I just like to be a completist. When I had Hunt the Wampus, a lot of stuff showed up. Okay, you've probably seen on your internet feed a bizarre looking dodecahedron shape that they've been discovering wherever the Roman Empire used to be. And it has these holes in it of different sizes, and it has these knobs. And back in the day, these are like made out of bronze. That was sort of hard for a metal worker to fabricate, to attach those knobs to the to that shape. So people have gone, was this for knitting or crocheting gloves? That's why they had different sized holes for different sized fingers or what? It's still a bit of a mystery as to what that dodecahedron was.
Well, when an archaeologist doesn't discover something, doesn't know what it is, he simply says that it is probably some sort of a religious object.
Yeah. Okay, and just for fun, here's how to make out of cardboard your own little Wampus monster. You could print from this site. You can print out this shape, and then you can cut that out with the scissors and fold it and glue it together. So that's if you like to have a little mascot Wampus sitting on your desk while you play the game. And this was an article from a tinfoil hat site on has the Roman dodecahedron mystery been solved. And it shows a bigger view of that strange bronze artifact. Every time I get on one of these sites or Yahoo has a news report, what is this mysterious Roman object? I always said, oh, they used it to play Hunt the Wampus. And so far nobody's gotten back to me on that. Like, what the hell are you
Did they
talking about?
mention what their theory was?
Yeah, they did, but these are the articles. You could look these up easily enough. If this was hooked up to the internet, it would either A, say page not found, or it would say B, here is that page. and a plain image of the dodecahedron. So, thank you for indulging me on this history of video game design of Hunt the Bumpus. We had a few other things on this giveaway. This has evolved from a CD to a DVD to a thumb drive because I kept putting things like this, these libraries, the Altman Fairware Library, the Boston Computer Society, the Chicago Software Library. Here's discs 1 through 25, and here they are in disc format. So if you have an emulator, or if you have a Nano PEB, you can just copy those right into it. Here's Lima. Here's modules. Here's a library of the modules and disks. These are all floppy disks with modules in EA5 format loaded on them. Plato, we did this a couple years ago in February. Here's all the Plato disks in this library. Plato courseware. It's a rather long name, so you can stretch this out. Yeah, see, even this program abbreviates it. Disk 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember all the fun we had with Plato.
What is it, 521 discs or something like that, I think, a lot of discs.
Yeah. Yeah, here, my, let me zoom this in a little bit. Okay, this doesn't zoom. Altman had 221 discs. Boston Computer Society, 111, Chicago, unknown, Lima, 359. Yeah, Plato, 467 discs.
I think there were more than that though. Actually, 519 Tiger Cub discs. That's wow.
Yeah. Yeah, Tiger Cub, the Plato interpreter, TI cards, unzipped command modules. Okay, let's look at what these are. So starting off the top for a flyer, 99 Home Century, accounting assistant. Yeah, so here's all the TI cartridges in DSK format.
And what kind of an emulator or simulator do you use? What uses DSK?
Well, I think all the emulators can use .dsk
Oh, okay.
as a virtual disk drive disk. I use the Nano PEB, formerly known as the Compact Flash CF7. So, yeah, just for all these libraries, it's taken me a while to put all these together.
Now, the difficulty is, of course, that many of these libraries are sort of incestuous in that they have
Duplicates.
Duplicates from other libraries. So sometimes you can find, I mean, they all have originals of it as well, but sometimes you can find various versions of the same program. And if you can't find something that works in one library, oftentimes you can find the same program in a different library from a different source, maybe from the original source, in fact.
Yeah. Like here's Barry Traver's library from Genial Traveler, the magazine on a disc that he published. Barry Harmson. In 2015, a smiling Barry Harmson handed me a thumb drive, and he said, "Victor, this is all the software for a TI in Europe up to this date." And so it was very many files all in one folder, all at the root level of this hard drive.
Wow.
So as a librarian, I went through and I went, well, here's all the discs that are numbered. Like, here's those that start with the number 5. And yeah, as you said, there's a lot of copy of, these are all disk files. And there's a lot of duplicates of stuff. But these are just all the ones that start the disk name with a number. Let's go back to Barry Harmson. And here's the indexed ones. The 99 disc, Microcom, Altman. Okay, we have an Altman library, but here it is again. From Barry Harmson library. Fred Call, Game Base 99. The Game Shelf, Ali Malouli's TI Game Shelf. So here's everything that's on there. But this is all from Worth Harrison Music. If you remember Bruce Harrison, his partner Dolores Worth, and they did MIDI for the TI. And they worked with Mike McSimic, who had MIDI for the TI, and they came up with MIDI Master. And then they expanded it, if you have a supercard, to MIDI Player.
MIDI album.
MIDI album.
Yeah.
Where you could have more than just one song loaded. And these are all the different discs that they had. Now let's go to the name. This is all the Barry Harmson library. What letter do you want to go with, Al?
Let's go with H. Let's just see what H is.
Okay, let's see what the H is in H. Okay, so this is everything that begins with H, even abstruse things like H plus, what that is. That's a job for somebody else. I am not,
Oh, we're still going through the fair disk
yeah, I am not autistic enough.
to
go
actually
through-
and rename everything and
Well,
categorize.
cross-reference it.
Yeah.
This would be a good job for a computer with something like Excel, where you could have multiple columns of disk name, and then one column you can have all the programs that are on that particular disk, and things like that.
Yeah, we need some kind of a directory that lists what the actual program is or does, because if you're just looking for a name,
Yeah,
and these are the TIUG, not episodes, but the volumes
Yeah.
of the newsletter, and all in, not all, but mainly in Dutch.
Very good.
And but there are a lot of reprints, some from our magazine, from our newsletter, some from the other user groups in whatever native language they were originally published in.
well, even I can figure out what that means. But, yeah, so there are a few libraries in here, and it would take you a little while to go through all these. That's just the Barry Harmson stuff. You got Chris Bobbitt, you got Manuel Constantinos, who did Diablo on the TI. And there's a disc. And here's HFE, so if you got a Final Ground, there's Diablo for the Final Ground. And here's the HXC floppy emulator, if you need an emulator to run it. Here's from me in disk format. These are all those modules on the disks that I jokingly call VMods. And without the cross-reference sheet, you might have trouble determining what's on a particular one. So I indexed that earlier. So which one is this VMod 01? Bit of a poser. I don't want to knock everything.
We've got a little problem. In 12 minutes, we're going to lose this room, perhaps. So I'm going to go out and find out if there's somebody that's coming in behind us that has this room reserved. If not, maybe we can hang out a little longer. But other than that, we might have to start breaking it down.
Very well. So, again, here's the printout I had of what's on VMods 01. And blue is editor assembler, yellow is extended basic, and purple is the editor assembler emulator loader called Y-load. So on many of these, you run it in extended basic, picks up load automatically, runs the Y-load, and then it gives you, here's a screen dump of this menu of what the programs are, and you just select it by letter. Some of these have enough programs on it, there's 2 pages of the menu. You press the space bar to go from one to another. So I have already indexed my own stuff, but I wind up with a darn loose leaf binder 2 inches thick of these printouts, so I can find stuff. I can flip through this book and go, oh, here's this program, here's that program, and I can do a search rather quickly. Here, let's get back. Now, where was I? That's in disk format. HXC disk modules, carts, the floppy emulator, Victor's cartridges. Again, it's sort of abstruse, it doesn't tell you what it is. I got this little file down here.
I got it, one more hour.
Okay. See if this will actually load. It's an RTF. This is an old version of Windows. Yeah. No, it ain't happy with it. Heck with you. Oh. Well, it sort of has it here on the left. Close this. But yeah, I did go through it on what the cartridge name is and what it's saved as. Adding subtraction 1, alien edition, alligator mix, early reading, because you only got so many letters you can use for these files. So what else we got for fun here? Yes.
I was gonna say, maybe we could go back and look under B and see if there are some programs from John Benke.
Classic 99, the Harmless Lion website.
Harmless Line, that's Tercy's website, isn't it?
I don't know. Hal, you were looking for B?
Yeah, back when we had that, well, that's Barry, but this was back one.
Yeah, he wanted to see if he
Yeah,
could find some other John Banky titles.
Mm-hmm.
I showed you before, I use the notebook for these. I can't easily do a search
Mm.
for it.
There were, at one point there you had all the different letters, and we chose H, and if we chosen B, I don't know what that, if that would have.
I thought that was back in Barry's named.
Yeah, and I don't know.
BBS, BCS, BD plus. Yeah, these are all folders that have multiples that start with those letters.
Oh, okay, I just.
Yeah, they're just volume labels mostly,
didn't know
probably.
what might be there. I remember Bachstein, that was good.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's go to, we know missile command, so let's try M. Where's a missile, yeah, missile command.
And speaking of discs, I have to tell you what happened yesterday. I got a note from a fellow named Rick Fisher, who was out in Barrington, and he offered to give me some discs to be distributed to the club. And so I thought, well, sure, why not? You know, I always use a few discs.
8 boxes later and 2 car trips.
8 would be a very modest number. I met him yesterday out in Mundelein. I was going out to a dinner, and he showed up. He lived in Barrington, which is closer to Mundelein than it is to Evanston, and proceeded to open up the back of his van, his truck, and then filled my entire trunk with boxes and boxes and boxes of discs. And I'll show you guys after the meeting. But I mean, it is completely full. There is no space whatsoever in the trunk of my car. I think you've all seen the trunk of my car. It's pretty
Cavernous.
voluminous. It's
Was they say on
it's
Better
a
Call
sand.
Saul, it's got the biggest trunk of any passenger sedan in the United States.
Yeah, it's at any rate, there's a lot of discs there. So we're going to have to. I think he said that he got them, or the majority of them, from Ernie Pergram, who's a past president of this group. Ernie, we haven't seen Ernie in a few years. He's moved on, I guess. He was working for one of the rating agencies. I believe it was like TransUnion or Equifax or one of those, and so he had to learn different programming languages. But there's a tremendous amount of stuff there. So we may have a real gold mine. It's
I haven't even gotten to the main event of this meeting.
yeah.
But here I'm from Barry Harmson, 2018. There's Missile War, and you see the date, 10/9/2011. Is when
It entered into
that
his
was entered
collection.
into the system.
Not necessarily when the program was created, whenever
No.
it was copied into his.
Yeah, no, that would have been originally written in 1985, and so these are. But a lot of programs were sort of lost and then rediscovered. And
It's not uncommon that,
Well.
they had their heyday and then they get buried and forgotten.
Yeah.
And someone
And then
discovers it
Like the Tiger Cub
again.
library, I think Wally Malooly was asking me for that screen dump program I used for that disc cataloging.
Mhm.
And that was by Quality Soft 99, and I'd swear that's in Tiger Cub somewhere.
Mhm. Good luck finding it.
Yeah, good luck finding that, because it's all in text. Okay, shifting gears, we're going to go to far off Italy, and they have a site called the Italian User Group. Well, they have a few folders here of software, and so I spent a couple weeks downloading that, and here is the web page for they're mostly, but not all, in alphabetical order. A lot of times the translation from Italian to English knocks them out of alphabetical order, but that's no big deal.
we have a couple of viewers right now. Hermano Vittori is watching, and so is Lapo Serafini, and they. I imagine they're watching from Italy. It's a whole different.
Here we go. So here's the Italian User Group search web page. And this is, you can see by the bar here at the bottom, this is number 1 of 84 pages. Each page has 10 programs on it. So here they are numerically or alphabetically 0, 2,000 Cowboys, 240 Colors Demo, 31 sheets, 3D maze. Now, these are originally all in Italian, but they're very nice. They put up in the corner, translate, Google Chrome's translate to English. Now, this is all copyrighted, and I asked Cirillo,
So,
the president of that group, for permission to distribute this. And there's the copyright notice there at the bottom there. And he says, well, if you leave the ownership, this bar at the bottom, I don't know how to remove that from my HTML. So it goes with it. But here's this first page, action, graphic demo, stuff like that. If we go back, here's the actual folder. So here's the download I got of 3D Maze. Now, which is a jewel on this, and this comes up, is he details, I'll zoom this in a bit, he details quite a bit. Uh, 3D Maze, who wrote it, if it works or not, or if it's a demo, if it's a working game or program or utility, what it is, and stuff like that. So he details stuff here. So just having a whole list of programs, it's like, well, then I gotta figure out what key do I press? What do I do? What does this program actually do? They've done that already. After typing run, oh, okay, here, you get a 3D maze. First person perspective.
and also that said this particular program has a bug in it.
Yeah, does he detail that? Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
they're in yellow.
In yellow.
At some point, it crashes with subscript. Yeah, so he asks for help, Now, this is all a 2023 download I did that. So I had to draw the line somewhere. Okay, so he mentions the bug again. Some of these, here's the English version, Italian version. Some of these programs, here it shows screenshots, gives you the key command, gives you a summary, digital English maze game software, author, format, cassette tape. And check out this. Oh, you can download this game at that link. Well, I've already done it for all these. Here is the, should be one of these have a zipper somewhere. Here it is. This one is a PK zip file. Let's try double clicking on it, see if this antique can open this up. Oh, there's no need to do that because I unzipped it already. Here, it's this folder above it. So there's all the 3D maze files. So I've already, there we go. Here's the actual download of the program. So discs, okay, 3D Maze bug disk. They give you that. FID, I don't know what that is. Text. A text document. So this might be a scan. Yeah, here's a scan from the bug of the actual program itself. He's actually almost crying in some of these posts where it's written in editor assembler or it's compiled or something, and he has no way to undo it. And he says there's a flaw in this program and it would have been nice if we had the original source code. But 99% of this stuff this is how I got it. So that's what I'm currently working on this week is unzipping. Going to the photos, the screenshots. So that gives you a good, you don't have to squint too hard to perceive what that is. It's a long corridor extending off to infinity. And there on the left, immediately next to you, is a branch to the left. And just past that wall, there's another branch to the left. Here you are at a T intersection. You're at the leg and the top of the T is in front. And there's a right angle turn. Again, your corridor going down to infinity, a corridor going immediately to your right, and one step forward, you got corridors to the left and right. And there's the error problem. So, so here, we'll go up a little bit. So yeah, this is what I've been working on since the fair, is downloading all these. So this is 01. Let's go to 02. And again, the same thing, getting the main page that has the index for these programs. And they have done a ton of work here. On address list, adventure, text adventure. Okay, adventure and Oz. I swear I did this here at the library about 5 years ago. We went through adventure and Oz. Adventure slideshow beta. So it's only a graphical demo. It's not the really working program. Adventure Mania cassette game. Don't ask me how to pronounce that. But let's get back to, yeah, okay, so the zip reader wanted to unzip that. There's no need to tie up the machine using that. So it was going through here. So what was that one that John Benke did? Sky Rescue.
Sky Rescue.
So we're going to try to get down here. I'm going to have to do a binary search and try to find S. Okay, that's an L. You know that 27. This only goes up to 85. So let's go to 70. Stone Age, no, let's go up one. That was what, 70? So let's run down to like 65. Space, no, we want to go higher. And I'm sure you're all familiar with how a TI does a search on a floppy disk. Is it looks at the alphabetically first program, and it sees if it's called load. And if it's not, it goes to the alphabetically last program and sees if it's called load. And if it's not, it splits the difference. If there's 100 programs, then it goes to 50 and sees if it's called load. And this kind of binary search is actually quicker than if they went A, B, C, D. This is a puzzle you'll get in some puzzle books, like Holmes and Watson are trying to figure something out. Sabotage, okay. It's not 59. I thought we did 60 already. So it's pretty clever, the engineers at TI. see where's, no, not 60, let's try 61.
Sherrville, Indiana, I wonder what that is. See some of these titles and I wonder, you know, the titles intrigue me. I get something called Your Willard Neighbors in my Daily Mail. And they give you the first line or two of whatever people post. And usually it's very intriguing, but I never see the rest of it because I don't subscribe to that app. My wife gets it, I don't get it, and I never figure out what's going on.
Okay, here we are in the search folder number 62. You have Sky Rescue. So looking at the web page that includes Sky Rescue. Let me zoom this in a bit. So you have Simon, Texas, sinusoidal high-res TI basic. Google Translate is not perfect. Sometimes you get some strange artifacts in there in the translation. Google Translate takes a long time to translate these Italian web pages. However, it is more accurate than the Translate in Firefox. It's much quicker. Okay, so here's a Sky Rescue on the Italian news group. That's actually a version of Sky. Did I demonstrate Sky Rescue yet?
Yeah, we did.
Okay. Oh yeah, I did.
We crashed the airplane.
Yeah. I have a lot of ground to cover, so sometimes I get confused about what I've done. You know the breakout game, the one about the ball that has to break the brick wall? Well, here's a war variant, a little more original, with a little more honorable mission. Here you got a banner of airplanes, you're the pilot, okay, there's the summary. Obviously, a terrorist will not stand by and watch it launch surface-to-air missiles trying to shoot down you. Okay. After saving all the prisoners, you will need to take them home by flying out from the right side of the game screen. At that point, you're rewarded by immediately being sent out on another mission, but the fortress will be more armored, and the terrorists will increase the number of missiles. Also, don't hit or shoot the missiles. Excellent animations and sound effects of the plane's engine, which varies based on the maneuvers you perform. Oh, we got somebody here.
Oh, my wife.
Oh, okay. Fortunately, I haven't found any particular information about this game, but the author's name is present and listen. Hey, John. Here's a shout out to you. Why don't you give the Italian News Group a little info? The author's name is present in the listing. I'm not aware of further details or if it was perhaps part of a publication in some magazine or other. If anyone has information, they can contact me, and I will be happy to update and integrate all the information on this point. So here he goes, where he's got screenshots and of the game. And see, he was about as successful as I was. So here's, here's the two different, here's the extended basic .dsk file, and here's the .bin cartridge file. So again, here's the extended basic file, the cartridge file, and I unzipped them. So let's quit this. Okay. Get back into TI mode here. Okay, so we were on Sky Rescue. Let's see, go back to, remove the disk. And what do we want next? Disk 76. Okay, so here's Frosty. Now this one, you have a snowman who has one eye, and you have to supply the branches for his arms. So this is by our friend Francisco Uga. He did the TI Rex, running dinosaur, where you had to run and jump over cacti, and he did a Mars Attacks type program. I believe that says press any key. So this is a game like memory, solitaire, concentration, where you have this grid here, and you flip these squares over, and you gotta get a match. And when you get a match, it appears on the snowman. So you press A, there's a branch, and I'll press B. Okay, that's not a match. So I'll press C, okay, and D. Oh, that's a match, that's his hat. Now I get a turn again. Press E and F, okay, that's not a match. So A and F, no, those are two different branches. G, oh, I remember that one, and B. Okay, H and A, that's a match. Oh, ran out of time. You know, so you put a time limit on it. Gee, thanks. I wasn't fast enough to do that. Yeah. Well, he's got an indicator there. We'll see about that. Oh, okay. Unprotected. A person with modest knowledge of programming could go in here and fix that time counter problem.
Got a couple questions here, in the chat.
Yes.
And I wanna read those,
Okay.
questions on the bottom there, and, see if we have an answer.
You shame the Wolpus.
I think that's maybe a reference to the original Colossal Cave game. So I think a lot of early text adventures that got ported over to early home computer platforms were typically either, loaded from disk into memory or cartridge based. Didn't really do the frequent disk access like the Infocom games did.
Yeah, they were, every step you took, they accessed your disk.
Yeah.
I got to the point, I copied the game disk to a RAM disk and ran it off of there. And even in verbose mode, it was just blink, blink, blink. It was just very quick. Let's see what we're gonna get next year. This text, let's look to that. Okay. This is the game of Right.
The game of Erg. Let's try that again.
I had this running last night, honest. Game of
There we go.
That's
is
interesting.
very much the Egyptian game of Senet, which is the oldest board game in the world. I think it even predates the Chinese game of Go that we call Othello. So one simulation showed it. Really, I did have this running last time.
Do I have to run home and actually get my actual board game?
It was running on this equipment.
I don't know, the graphic was well worth the,
Yeah.
It may just take a little longer. It's TI and it's tired, you know.
But, I had found a Senet on the TI. I thought it was in the Chicago User Group library, but I've been unable to find it again. It was sort of like a simulation of the Nile River, where you get on a boat in the middle of a horizontal playing field, and you travel down one end and you travel down to the other end. Okay, so this is you versus the computer. Okay, so you sort of need a PC to do this. Where were we? Well, there we are. IUG 2023. Okay, here we go again. That's an S already.
What are we looking for now?
Royal Game of Ur.
Oh.
So it's not 61.
Wouldn't that be pretty far up because of the U?
Rudy Toad. Now this is 57, so it'll probably be 58. We're only at Rossi. 59.
Royal
There it
Game
is.
of Ur.
Royal Game of Ur. Okay. Open this file. So if you've got your laptop sitting next to you, you can actually be looking at the, it always says that. Oh, wait, it remembered all the darn pages that we had open. There it is. Let me zoom this in. Let's see if I can run this over. Ah, World Game of Ur by Walid Maluri. One click. Okay. Al?
The board game reported to the TI 99 for a community, I suppose, in December 2017 by Walid Mouli, also known as Vorticon in the 99ers community. It was published in an Atari Age thread. As the author says, it is a game that he's been very attached to since he was a child. It's an ancient board game that seems to date back to 3000 BC. It's a close relative of the better-known backgammon, with the same final aim, but simpler than that. Proceed along the path of the board, trying to take away all of your pieces before the one's opponent. The graphics for this version for TI 99 4A were created by Rami Davids nickname, I guess, used on the Atari Age forum. During the game, it's also possible to use the speech synthesizer and connect it to the computer. This computerized version of the ancient game is designed for a single player as a faithful reproduction of the original based on the rules discovered and disseminated by the British Museum, which preserves one of the recovered boards. The programmed artificial intelligence is very good and will not be easy to beat your TI-99 4A. To win at this game, a strong component will be given by luck, but having luck will not be as much use if it is not accompanied by a good gaming strategy. On the screen, you'll see at the top the pieces available to both the player and the computer. The board takes up the entire center of the screen, and at the bottom of the 4-inch dice, which will indicate the possible numbers of movements in your turn from 1 to 4. Any speech synthesizer connected, it will say the output number.
It is translated from Italian.
Yeah,
Google
I've just got to read what's on
Translate
the
does a
screen.
good job,
Yeah, oh yeah.
but it's not perfect.
You get the gist.
It's
of it.
better than the Firefox Translate that's in beta.
Yeah. Where the writing "men home" is written, the checkers that have been managed to take the board will accumulate. The first of the two players to manage to take all of the checkers off will have won. When a pawn is positioned in the red zone, the dice will be rolled again. Furthermore, as long as it remains in the red zone, the pawn will be protected from the opponent's attacks. Yes, because during the course, if the other player places one of his pawns on yours, that pawn will return to those still to be added to the board. Overall, it's a lot of fun, and the controls are very simplified. Use the S and D keys to position the cursor on the pawn, and then press Enter. It will automatically move into the boxes based on the number rolled on the dice. To introduce a new piece onto the board, simply press the N key once the dice have been rolled.
SD, Enter, and N.
Yeah. To learn about the history and the rules of the game, I recommend reading the dedicated entry on the Wikipedia website, which is really well done. Okay, do we want to read the rest of this?
Yeah.
Oh,
And there's a video by Irving Leonard Finkel himself plays the game of this. I think he works at the museum. He's a mathematician or logician or something, and he's got the game down. And he's playing with a younger opponent, and just having the time of his life doing it. It's really entertaining to see him play this game on that YouTube video. At this link, you can watch an entire game in about 30 minutes. So no, I did not download that video and include it in here, but these are all hot links, and they should all work once I get this posted up on our newfangled web page that we're supposed to have.
That'll be interesting.
For our club Dropbox account, so there's no size limit. Here you go, download section. Oh, here's another thing the IUG does nice, browser game. You can try it online. And here he shows various screenshots of the game in progress, and his usual credits, format it's released on, what it's for, and here's the two files, one by cartridge and one for disk. So let's get back. So where's our instructions here on how to play? So here I'll use my AV switch, go back to TI mode. So S and D. Let's put a new piece on here. I don't know if you could hear that.
Very faintly. I don't know if people watching the stream can or not.
The voice isn't, yeah, the voice and the beep isn't that loud. I'm just clumsily,
Placing pieces rather than advancing them.
I'm just clumsily going along here, going through the motions. I'm not really playing this intelligently. Going up. Guess I can't place a piece. Okay, well, I don't really know what I'm doing here.
I think you have to start advancing your placed pieces before you can place another.
I think you have to then hit enter
Well, going back to the instructions. Yeah, if you got a laptop, a tablet, or an A/B switch here, is I've got a laptop on my left and the TI on the right. I can go from one screen to another at will. And S&D position the cursor on the pawn and press enter. It will automatically move. Oh, okay. So use this to press the move the
Press
cursor.
enter.
Now press enter. Okay. Okay, so
You just sent your
if
piece
you,
back.
yeah, if you land on a piece occupied by your opponent, you send your opponent's piece back. So this is a very ancient ancestor backhand. Well, Lee, how can you play your game?
It will just keep landing on your pieces and sending your pieces back, won't it?
I think there's some blocking strategy that can be deployed, and they have to be, I think they have to be exact number of moves to land on a piece. And I think you're supposed to ultimately advance your pieces into the, down the center channel and into the home positions.
Yeah, we'll have to watch that video again and see how that's played.
It seems like the computer just can choose to sit on your piece at all times, knock you out all the time. If you don't knock them out.
Well, like you said, the computers,
I think it's going to be opportunistic. In other words,
Logic.
if it rolls a number of moves
yeah,
to eliminate one of your pawns, it will probably take that.
yeah, where are the dice? Oh, it tells
Well,
you
that's
what
the,
dice
that's
roll.
the, right, that's the, it
Yeah.
tells you, and that's also what the voice synthesis
Yeah.
is. It
I
tells
think the
you.
original game is played with flat sticks that are painted on one side. You just grab them and throw them on the tabletop, and some land plain side up and some land painted side up, and depending on that is how your moves are. Okay, well,
But
this.
yeah, the voice synthesis is actually calling out the dice rolls.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, well, this needs a little further review, but it shows it's out there, folks. And,
I hope we haven't put anybody off, ever playing it again. But sometimes that's a valuable thing too. I mean, it's like a Yelp.
All right, you can at least decide whether you want to further
That's
investigate.
right, yeah, you
yourself.
don't wanna eat there maybe if you actually read the reviews.
you were asking about, if a game could be, played entirely in, memory, once it's loaded, and here's one. Here's an Infocom game, The Forgotten Pyramid.
Yeah, so that's going to probably be a disk-based Z machine game.
Okay, so that loaded up pretty darn quick. Off the final ground. Shift A38, adventure number 3. The remote village, hell,
Oh, here we go again.
James, if you
In
want
the
to read it.
remote villages of Peru, nestled amidst the breathtaking landscapes of the Andes Mountains and dense jungles, a remarkable tale unfolds. It's the story of an extraordinary individual who dedicated his life to making a difference in the lives of those less fortunate. His unwavering commitment took him to the far corners of Peru, delivering essential food and medical supplies to small, isolated communities. For years, our protagonist fearlessly piloted his aircraft, navigating treacherous terrain and unpredictable weather conditions. Each flight was a lifeline for those in need, a beacon of hope in the face of adversity. He witnessed firsthand the resilience and courage of the villagers who faced daily challenges with grace and determination. But one fateful day, as he embarked on his return journey from a successful supply drop, the skies betrayed him. A storm, fierce and unexpected, descended upon the aircraft with an unforgiving force. In a split second, lightning crackled through the air, striking the fragile metal bird that had carried our protagonist through countless missions. In that heart-stopping moment, he knew his only chance of survival was to bail out into the vast expanses of the Peruvian jungles below. In this adventure, you'll need to have a parachute, I suppose. Collect 13 treasures and complete 6 tasks to complete the game. Your maximum score is 200. Good luck on your adventure. Now, what I want to know is, what has that got to do with bailing out of a plane, collecting adventures? Maybe more will be revealed later.
well, seeing how it just crashed.
Internal error,
Yeah.
bad opcode.
Did he just jump out of the plane? Is that?
Yeah.
I'm a little- I'm a
Again,
little-
this might be another IUG
Oh, well,
program I
let's see.
downloaded because it
Says
looked intriguing.
2023, Chris Schneider.
Yeah. Either I did something wrong or I could always look back up and see where Forgotten Pyramid is on IUG and see if that says that there's.
Is this a new game or is this a older game? Well,
Maybe
this
the-
mystery may be solved by the end of the show today. On the other hand, we don't know and we make no guarantees. It is, after all, a TI demo.
I see that I'm going to have to come up with an index to see what all these folders is. Folder 16, we're only up to C.
Well, by next meeting,
Ah.
Vic, we fully expect you to have completed a couple of folders worth of information about these discs, and in some detail, and with diagrams
Yeah.
and playlists and how to, strategies, et cetera, because we know you do that sort of thing, and
See, I don't know if it's under. If it's under forgotten or if it's under the. Okay, I can't, 3, 25, 24. No, I don't see it here. Okay. So if it's under forgotten or if it's under T for the, yeah, like I said, the translating from the Italian into English sometimes redoes the noun-verb structure of the name of the program. So instead of the forgotten pyramid, it's pyramid forgotten or something like that, just as an example. Let's go to disk 80. Well, I should mention, during the fair, during our intermissions, people broke up into special interest groups, and there were several interesting conversations going on. And I had all I could do to try to keep track of the conversation of the group nearest to me. So if anybody wants to share any information on what they were chatting about and what they were doing, I'd really appreciate it. Especially the British gentleman who visited the table I was at with his young son, and he had asked about jetpack. It took me about 14 seconds to find it on my final run and load it up for him. And I believe he said he was the author. And I says, well, here, you wrote a play. It shows how it's played. And he was quite taken aback, like, wait a minute. It's like, Wampus.
I wasn't aware there would be a test.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so here's a text adventure Wampus that I told you about. And here we go, the summary. It's a hungry creature lives in a cave of 20 rooms. Each room has 3 tunnels leading to the other. You have 5 magic arrows. Oh, so you can shoot yourself with your arrow because it can travel the distance of 5 rooms. The 3 hazards: bottomless pits, super bats, and a wampus.
Or getting hit by your own arrow, that's 4. I mean,
The
it's,
wampus may move one room or keep still when you shoot an arrow, or if you walk into his room. You will be warned when you are 1 room away from any hazard.
the question I keep asking myself is, why would anyone want to do this?
Fame, treasure. Usually it's the princess.
Yeah, usually you get some sort of
Yeah,
payoff, but
yeah.
it seems to me that you can get eaten, you can get dropped into a bottomless pit, you can get shot by your own arrow coming in and hitting you in the back.
Well, sometimes the reward is sheer survival.
Yeah, I mean, where's the joy in this game? Where's the,
Well, what you should probably do is, it's like, write the game of the Wampus Hunter's Revenge. After being plopped into this
yeah.
maze, he goes back and
Yeah.
Is
takes
it
out the
just-
people who
So
sent
this
him
is
there.
where you'd be advised to draw out a flattened dodecahedron and start, you're in room 10 and it connects to rooms 2, 9, and 11. So if we move to 2,
I forgot the bat snatch. The bat snatch, that's four unpleasant things that can happen to you.
okay, so now you're in room 16, connected to 15, 17, 20. Let's try 15. Okay, so it's move or shoot first, enter, and then what room? Uh-oh, there's pits near. Well, where were we before? We were in 16 before, so we'd always go back to 16. So this is the nice text adventure version of Hunt the Wampus. We saw the TI, well, we didn't play the TI version. I'll assume everybody has played the TI version of Hunt the Wumpas. I'm not gonna drag you through that. And we saw that real nice graphical one where you got to see your on-screen character get eaten. Last thing you see is his soles of his boots as he gets swallowed by the creature. Draft from pits nearby, tunnels lead to 15. Well, let's go to 17 then. Move to 17. Huh. Okay, so we were in room 16 and we came from 15 and you hear a draft, we moved to 17. So room 20 must have a pit. Okay. Huh. Okay, here's the bad section. Oh, gosh. I don't know if we're gonna be able to finish this session. I'll just knock it off here, but here's the texted version.
I mean, we're just sort of moving through a room until we fall into a bottomless hole. We get eaten by super bad snatch. Ah, yes. At some point, you kind of hope you get eaten.
I don't know how many, the TI version, you've got 2 slime pits, 1 Wumpus, and
Oh, I forgot the slime pits. Oh, yeah, that's five disgusting things that can happen. Ah, another bad snatch.
seem to be going in a circle here. I'm trying to break out.
Well, it's a deco something, or dodecahedron. I mean, you're gonna continuously move.
Ah, there's a number I haven't seen before, it's 15.
We were in 15. Here's the draft. Any luck, we're gonna drop into the bottomless pit.
Wait, we were in 16? Okay.
We've been in 17 before too, so now I don't wanna go back there. There you
Okay.
go, finally.
All right. Happy now? Doing some work on my final graph, you sharp-eyed viewers.
I hate to bring this up, but we have about 5 minutes left. I think there's somebody coming in after us.
Okay, so we can start breaking down, but I redid my menu so it made sense. Because ever since I got this thing, I've just been adding files onto it haphazardly. And so now it's a little more utilitarian here. But here we've got Q, IUG 2021. So I'll eventually have IUG 2023 on here. So here we got 2 files, like ENF Bookaboo, and a lot of times one of those works and the other one doesn't. Oscillator demo, Suavitage. Taco Man, that was originally published in 99er Home Computer Magazine. Here you got the Frankenstein's monster.
Oh, good. Spiders and goblins and.
Just in case you didn't get enough, just in case you didn't get enough last month, right?
Yeah. Oh, put a pit and spider webs,
Oh,
but no
yeah.
boiling oil. I mean,
Yeah, pick up this token.
that's like a pumpkin. How are you gonna pick that up?
I think that was a token you have to pick up, that's why.
Well, I think it
That's
danced
the whole
on-
idea, you have
I think
to.
it danced-
Ouch,
Yeah, you're dancing on a poison pumpkin.
yeah.
Yeah, let's go chase the spider.
Spooky pitfall.
There you go. Usually you just walk across
What did
something.
what did you just get? I mean,
I walked across the pumpkin and picked it up.
oh, okay.
Oops.
Oh, that was nice. You get to drown too.
Yeah, I was supposed to jump across that. Oh, well.
What, no hand grenades, no punji sticks, no falling rocks, no hideous diseases, no trucks to run you over, no trains decapitate you. How boring.
Yeah, let's get our farewell screen set up
Okay.
and we can log out. Someday I'll get that Indian head
That's
screen on
proper.
this thing. Waleed
Oh, yeah.
gave me hope with his
And the
with
tone.
his scanner,
Yeah.
that we could actually
Oh,
take
yeah.
a photograph of that
Yeah.
and,
Go through and re-edit it.
All we need now is a little camera and we've got a Raspberry Pi somewhere. Yes, for all our international viewers, thanks again for watching, and this is how we sign off in America. Usually about 1 o'clock in the morning in the old days, and they would then put up the test screen and do all their technical work until 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and sign back on with some inane show that featured a monkey or a chimpanzee or somebody
Channer
in a
and
clown suit.
Lancelot Lake.
Yeah, running around squeaking a horn and their something like that. That was television once upon a time in America. Thank you for visiting with us today, and thank you for all the times that viewers have spent some time with us. And we hope that you found today's program and show interesting, and that you'll join us again on the first Saturday of December coming up. And maybe we'll page through some of the discs that Rick Fisher has given us and see if we can find something that is lost and can be rescued and shown again.
It was
And-
lost, but now it's found.
Yeah.
I heard that in a song somewhere.
Yeah, that sounds like it would make a great song, doesn't it? Yeah. At any rate, that's gonna be it for today. We have to move out of this room in the next few minutes, so we have to spend some time breaking down. And please join us again next month on the first Saturday at about the same time, about 1:30 Eastern Standard Time, because tonight
Central.
we get away from daylight saving time, and it'll be Eastern Standard Time, which will be, don't quote me on this, but I think it's UTC 6. Is that, if it's not, you can figure it out. You do the math, I'm an English major. So, for all of us here, for Jim Mazurek, Vic Sturp, and myself, Hal Shanfield, thanks for watching, and see you next time.